DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Hey storytellers, how are you out there today? We are DreamWeavers StarTrax, and this is Krenzai, host.
And this is Renzai, our host. And Ren is an acting coach, extraordinaire, filmmaker, actor, and I am a singing teacher and a singer and a songwriter.
Yes, and actually quite fabulous. Won awards out in LA, and now tonight she'll be leaving us a little early in take 4 because she has a show to do tonight for the veterans, and we're going to go see how that goes later.
Yeah. Bonanza High, tribute to the veterans with Edwin Cook from the Coasters and Platters. Sophia Alexis, sophomore vocal major at LVA. She's amazing. She's Ariana Grande.
Soprano extraordinary.
And Stephen Singleton, who is in the U.S. Navy.
Yeah, phenomenal R&B young man
Right,
singing.
22-piece orchestra. Come on out. So we're going to do something really cool because Dreamweavers run on imagination.
They do.
Helping the world, one story, one artist at a time. And we have some great artists coming on, but right now we are going to give you our tip of the day. Ba-ba!
What is yours?
My tip of the day. Okay, people, I got a gig today, so I'm going to tell you how I prepared to go out and sing with this great 22-piece orchestra. Thank you, Mike Tucker. He's our band leader. People ask me that all the time. I got a gig. How much is too much of warming up? What do I do the day of? The number one thing is make sure you get some sleep, because a tired voice is a voice that doesn't function as well as it should.
That's true.
So get as much sleep as you can. Make sure you're hydrated. Drink a bunch of water. Okay. Also, warm up. This is the best way to do it in the morning. If you have a voice teacher, if you have a warm up, a CD tape on your USB, on your phone, whatever. In the shower in the morning, while that hot steam's there, warm up the early stuff. If you do the Seth Riggs method, those type of things, everything kind of woofy and relaxed, and then wait. Don't wear your voice out. On the way to the gig, then you can do it again. Do a little bit of warm up and more of your high edgy, the stuff that stretches your voice and gets you ready to go out and sing. Sing through the song once or twice, maybe 3 times if you're doing a one-up. If you're doing a whole bunch of songs, sing an easy song and then get one that's a little more challenging. And then if you want to do one that is you're blowing on, then do that one. But don't wear your voice up before you get to the gig.
All right. Speaking of that fun part, when you're heading to the gig, what do you do? Remember, it's a melodic form of storytelling.
Bam.
And don't go on stage and never see an audience. See the story, you're supposed to be involved. Because remember, if you were an actor and it was a monologue, you'd look at that monologue and you'd want to know what it was about. So you really just realize the only difference is you're doing a melody connected to a monologue. So your idea as an actor, because we tend to react to our 5 dream senses, which is the same as our 5 physicals, so you want to see the movie that moves you in your heart. So when you go out there, you look at the movie that is in your mind, right at the audience, and they stop becoming an audience, and for some reason they don't know why, they feel so wonderfully connected to you. It's a lot of fun. And that's something that once you do 2 or 3 times, you'll never want to turn around. You may not be aware of the audience, but I promise you when the show's over, you will be. They usually have quite a few interesting things to say to you that are of a positive nature.
So I'm going to go out and I'm singing I'm only singing one song because I'm not the star. Edwin is. No, just joking. I'm always the star to you, right, dear?
Always.
Yeah, I paid him to say that.
Galaxies.
Galaxies. Smart man. So I'm going out and I'm singing Sweet Home Chicago. Okay.
That has nothing to do with where you were born.
Well, it might, because I am from Chi-Town. So say that's the song. What would I do with that?
Well, what is it that you love about Chicago?
Oh my God. Everything's available to you.
But what moves your heart the most?
The hustle and bustle of the city.
So you would be daytime or nighttime?
Nighttime.
So you'd be in the hustle bustle walking down the street. What time of year is it?
Spring, because otherwise it's too flipping
That's
cold.
true. Well, how about then, so you've got that, what would be a smell that would be like, oh yeah.
Pizza. Chicago, Chi-Town pizza.
Okay, so you'd be walking by that. All this has an emotional thing that takes place.
Yes.
All we are as actors is we learn to dream while awake. And a dream is simply made of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Our job is to design a movie like we used to do as young children when it was time to play. We weren't sitting at a table. The pencil was a rocket ship. And it was our fort because we fit under it before we got bigger.
Well, I am going to smell some pizza on the way to Bonanza High.
I think you are.
I think that's cool.
Let's watch what's coming up next. Watch this.
DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Aloha. Same thing as goodbye as in hello. You're never disconnected.
right.
We are back, and oh my God, look at the crew we have with us today.
Oh my God, I'm surrounded by all these handsome men.
This is part of the Arhan Orphan Brotherhood, Kung Fu actors, and there's a lot of fun these guys get to do, and they do some clever things, and we've seen this. This is part 2 of it a little bit, and we've added a couple more inside of ourselves, so let's introduce yourself over here.
Hello, my name is Ezekiel Ortega. I'm the co-founder of Arhat Orphan Brotherhood.
And definitely one of the choreographers, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Yep.
And we have...
Hi, I'm LanceBrazil. I'm also a member of the Arhat Orphan Brotherhood. I help these two lovely gents and get some stuff going, you know?
And he's the nicest guy, unless, of course, he becomes Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
That day. Yeah, and he uses guns, don't worry. He uses them well.
Hi, I'm Aaron Ortega. You guys met me before. I am a co-founder of the Arhat Orphan Brotherhood stunt team.
Every time I see Aaron, I always see the one that we did last time where he's running in the garage, sleeping, jumping, doing all the fun stuff.
Parkour, baby, parkour. And yes, you're right. Ezekiel, and Aaron are brothers.
Yes, they are.
They are brothers.
We're brothers from the same mother.
Brothers from the same mother.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah, that's
There we
me.
go.
Another mother.
So, with that in mind, how in the world did you guys end up, because you've all been doing Kung Fu most of your lives, and then all of a sudden, out of the clouds of the universe, want to do a movie? How'd that happen? How did it get started?
That was all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
kind of the beginning
Yeah,
of there, really.
we.
So you're
all.
playing.
I
it's
am
He's the start,
all
he
this
is.
goofiness that we do get to do. We just, one of our friends, Sergio Iva, was cast to be a bad guy in this movie, and they knew he had some martial arts background, and they asked him to do it, and he's like, I don't want to do it because I don't want to be typecast as a bad guy, and I know two brothers who are way better at choreographing fight scenes than I am. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
And then Lance was there, and Lance has always been there. And Lance gets a
Always.
little Lance too modest, but he's also a co-founder of sorts for us.
Wow.
So
And
Well, it's a shame for your friend, considering that bad guys sometimes have such clever dimensions about them.
I love
It's
it.
Yeah.
fun. It's fun.
They
It's
are
fun. You
fun
get to
being
let it
bad
out,
guys.
you know? Yeah, you
Yeah,
let
it
out.
takes work.
so Lance went from a martial artist, which he still is a martial
Oh,
artist,
yeah, absolutely.
to
Yeah,
being
it's
a
huge,
bad guy.
Yeah.
A bad guy, one of
Yeah.
the featured players, right?
Yeah, and the
And-
Nightwing series on YouTube.
Nightwood series, and you won't recognize him because he's got like this bad guy mask on.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because superheroes always have bad guy masks on or good guy masks.
Supervillain.
So what was it like for you to be cast as well? How did that even happen? I guess is
yeah.
the question.
Well, it started with really just Aaron and
Aaron.
Adam
So you started
Zielinski.
more trouble.
Oh,
I
Aaron
like
started
this
it.
guy.
If you ever want to get in trouble, I'm the
all
guy.
to blame.
He's all to blame, for sure.
The director is a good friend of ours, Adam Zielinski,
Right.
and he said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we want to do this comic book thing, and we were thinking Lance would be the perfect body double stuntman for the bad guy." And I was
Right.
like, "All right, cool." So ask Lance, and
Yeah. I was literally
Well, here
teaching
again.
my last class over at a local gym, and
Oh, that's
that's
right.
when
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
came in, just creeped in, and was like, "Hey, you want to be Deathstroke?" And I was just like, really excited, yeah. 'Cause I know these characters pretty well, from
very cool.
my childhood of in the comic
Because this is a
books and
comic
stuff.
book, right?
Absolutely,
A
yeah.
comic
yeah.
series.
So
Wow.
I was like, "Yeah, sign me up." It's like, when do we start? Yeah. it just
Ren and
went
I
from there.
love comic books, so
Yeah.
this for us
Yeah,
is
I did too,
exciting.
but I haven't seen him in
grew up.
decades, and I watched something last night from Marvel, which I had not seen, called Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of your character. I thought for a moment, now,
He's actually
is that actually a comic book? Because that was a little more than what
Deadpool's
kids like.
absolutely a comic
Yeah,
book.
Deadpool. He's a parody of Deathstroke. Deathstroke was created like sometime in like the early '60s.
Oh, because they're so similar.
And then later they created Deadpool in like the '80s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Please don't get.
Well, we're going
But
to
they made it
check.
as a
We're going to
joke.
come right back and catch up a little more. But let's watch a commercial too and watch these next scenes coming up with these rascallions. So much fun.
DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Okay,
Ouch.
we are back. Now you know what to do when you're in your bedroom and there's nothing else to do. Do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. pure boredom.
I'm going to do that
One
with my spatula when
And
I go
don't
home.
forget, you must wear a mask. It's much more fun
It's
than a
not the
mask.
same. Yeah, you don't feel it.
You don't feel it. You don't feel it's
He's
cool.
so
Nobody wants
kinky.
to see this.
Now he wants me to go home and wear a mask while I'm doing it with my spatula.
That's true. In the kitchen would be
In the
interesting.
kitchen,
The cats
yeah.
would run.
Terrifying.
So, a little more about. There's so many concepts about Kung Fu. Some people aren't sure. Was it Bruce Lee? Was it Jackie Chan? And yet, of course, they all are exponents of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a little bit about the training you've had, all of you. Especially the quiet one back
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
This
give
is
it- give it the
Brooklyn.
quiet
on
one.
the-
Yeah,
I
give it
can't
to the
see.
quiet guy.
I'm not being rude. He's behind me. I just can't. My head isn't a bird.
Yeah, she has fusions. This looks like good
Our
posture.
training was fun. That's how all of us got to be, like, quote unquote brothers. Other than the fact that we're actually, me and Aaron are actually brothers.
Legitly brothers.
But
yeah.
like,
That one actually kind of
They are brothers.
yeah, well, that's where the brotherhood part started to happen. Like we would blood, sweat, and tears. And
yeah, we've been through a lot. Yeah.
our floor in the old school was carpet, and there was just blood everywhere on it.
Oh,
And then
gross.
so now
And sweat. Yeah.
and sweat, but like now
Sweat's going.
at our school, when we were building the new school, our master just told us to paint the floor red, like just painted blood red, so we didn't have to worry about
So
it.
nobody sees the blood.
Yeah, it's
Sifu's
works out
brilliant.
so well.
It's also a power color. too,
Yeah,
so,
yes, it is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Besides that, but it does hide that very well.
Yeah, sure does. That was fun. It definitely made us grow as individuals and
Yeah.
grow together. You know what I mean? So
And one of the things you said in one of the things I was editing was how it was amazing that everybody worked their day jobs.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a
Hello,
sudden
people.
came in, because filming is not get out, oh, we're done in 10.
yeah.
And
No.
it's just insane the amount. I mean, it is sometimes more than a full day's work.
yeah,
And
you gotta
how
plan a 10 to
long
14
did you
hour
guys
day.
keep that up for that that version for Nightwing?
I mean,
Mental.
Lance did most of the
Mental,
hard
physical
work.
exhaustion.
Caffeine. yeah.
It took us like 2 months, right, to film everything.
I think in part, accumulated. It was like 2 months worth of time,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, with all the other countless hours
But I
of
think it was like a
rehearsing
year.
and
Yeah, that's true rehearsal.
I was
time.
gone a month one time,
Yeah.
and it put the whole production on hold. But we told them ahead of
That'll do
time
it.
Yeah.
that was going to happen, so that wasn't my fault.
Yeah, always ahead of time.
But,
Always that.
but at the same time, they were willing to work with that because they liked me as the character, so it just kind of worked out that way. So, yeah.
There couldn't be anyone else that could have played Deathstroke. So
No.
And you're so not a bad guy. I mean, he's like the nicest dude in the world, man.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta grow the beard. That way people are like,
Yeah, it's like, all right, let's worry about this guy a little bit.
You
I
can
gave
have
it
that
a shot.
hipster thing going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it grows pretty quick too. So I shaved yesterday.
So the thought about the amount of strikes, hits, fast movements, a little bit of in that setup we're going to deal with a little more in take 3. But one of the things I want to talk about is because 3 of you tend to run core. How many hours of training so you really don't actually wipe someone out on camera, but look like you're wiping them out?
a typical rehearsal will run about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we try to rehearse maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
a week, so that's 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
And how much time does that equal on the camera?
Well, so we were just on a set over the weekend.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were doing The Force Corrupted. It's a Star Wars fan film. And
Very
I
cool.
insisted, or
I'm a fan.
this is usually how it works, and they were actually really, really cool and listened to us.
Mm-hmm.
But we insist on at least a month's worth of training ahead of the
Kind
schedule.
of like a
shoot.
camp, you know.
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Come on, you wanna-
And so a month,
absolutely.
and we rehearse twice a week, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, it was about twice a
Yeah.
week.
So I don't know. I was terrible at math. About 15, 20 hours, something like that.
You know, something like that. Just back and forth.
And that can only, and sometimes it can equal just a few seconds or a minute of fighting, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, it sure can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
You
the
know,
beauty of
gotta
camera
get the-
work.
Yeah, you got to get the timing, you know, everything. Make sure everyone's on
right.
point.
Well, we're going to come back here in just a few moments, and what we're going to look at is let's learn a little more about the Arfin Orhan Brotherhood. Catch you in a few.
DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Okay, that's an interesting brotherhood. That's very cool.
There's some handsome men, ladies. Sorry, they're all taken. I think most of you. I know you two are
I'm
taken. Are you
married.
taken
I'm
easy?
married.
Never ever again.
Easy
There
go, people. Call me. Call me.
okay.
I'll introduce you.
So, yes, we have information's usually at the bottom. Okay. With that in mind, the Arhan Orphan Brotherhood, give us a little more background on that. The group of you and who's involved and why that
Lance,
choice.
go ahead, man. You,
Well, I mean, really, it's a lot of the core affiliates of Lohan School of Shaolin. You know, the guys that really contribute a lot because we at Lohan School we also do a lot of outside expeditions with lion dancing and even demonstrating the martial arts on stage for many cultural events to Chinese New Year and whatnot. So. Our group is very diverse, in essence, as you can even see right here, just alone right here. So, but yeah, we have all walks of life, and it's important to trust one another in this realm, especially when you're doing stunt work or anything that involves possibly hurting one another. Very, very important to have trust, because coordination's key.
Yeah.
Because you got to train, especially when you're getting an actor or somebody, and you got to train them. It's extremely important, but at least with us, we already kind of have a heads up. So if we actually bonk each other, we're like, oh, that's cool, So it's not as bad because we know how to, we can pull back or something.
You don't go in and rumble because you get clocked in the
Absolutely,
head.
we're not. It's okay, man. You'll probably get me next time.
Yeah.
So.
And
So-
it is a choreography, and it's so well done, and the
definitely.
details are fast.
Yeah.
So I like that part. Plus, hopefully, you get a cameraman that understands depth is far away, zoom in, and just looks
Yeah.
like someone's really being
and we try to work with that a lot because Aaron and Easy are a lot behind the camera to make sure they're seeing what they want to see,
And-
and they want to be involved in the editing as much as possible too to make sure. That's
Good
happening,
idea.
too.
That makes
And for
sense.
those who are new cameras out
takes
there,
an
to be
eye.
honest, if it's a fight scene, don't bring your camera in close. Zoom in because it flattens the picture and it really looks like they got knocked out.
Filmmaker. That wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be. Can I ask? I'm going to ask a question because I got to duck out of here after this one. So what was the difference between you guys just demonstrating martial arts, and hanging out, in live demonstrations, and then going and doing it on camera? Because I know live, you're in frame,
Oh, yeah.
right? So it changes. I know from going to theater to film, it's a big difference. So how did that affect y'all?
Wow, that's a great question.
we
I mean,
You can wipe the blood off in between camera takes, but not on stage. No.
Yeah, on stage, you don't really get much room to mess up. But on
cool.
film,
Is that a
you
good
can
question?
do multiple takes for sure. So, being from when we're doing stuff on stage and stuff so many times, it helps us to minimize that possibly in the film world, I guess you could say.
Yes, and we also do a lot of storyboarding. As an
Yeah.
artist, I draw a lot of the scenes that we see.
Yeah, he does.
Like try to figure out like where the camera should go and what arm you should be punching with and things like that.
yeah.
So it's
Detail,
very,
detail,
Thought about
detail.
that.
very, very
Oh, yeah.
storyboarded. Just trying to figure out what we believe would be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
That was a good question, wasn't it?
Deep.
I'm
Deep.
cool.
you
nailed it.
started this,
Nailed
Just saying.
All right, so with that in mind, and that is a thought. So you mentioned you do the storyboards a lot. That's really good because I think it's nice that the action person's doing the storyboard because there's a real experiential understanding of what's about to occur.
absolutely
Yes.
yeah.
Because thinking camera, thinking that also no, this angle would look better doing this.
Exactly,
kind
like
of
where
thing.
to put the camera, and like where is the fist going to be in association with the person's face, and I try to think about that beforehand.
It's so much more helpful for the cameraman if we have storyboards. I don't draw. Mine is usually an iPhone. Stand there, do this, do that. Okay, that'll work. So we can do that.
He takes pictures, yeah, uses
They work well though. They
Yeah,
work.
we
All
do
right.
too.
And
We
speaking
do.
of, now what
Sure
we're
do.
going to do next is we're going to take a look at a little bit of things going on, and we're going to learn a little bit of what happens behind the scenes here. So we'll catch you in a few.
I'll see you guys next week.
That's
Going to
true.
Sang.
Hi, Corinne.
Bye, y'all.
Corinne.
Thank you guys so much for
Thanks,
coming.
man.
Hi guys, my name is LanceBrazil.
Everybody that was involved with Nightwing had their day jobs. After working a full day's work and then coming on set for another full day's work and just being with everyone and just having this completely dedicated crew to this project just made you want to work harder.
Yeah, our inspirations and stunts, definitely come from Kung Fu flicks. Of course, Jackie Chan, Tony Jaa, Donnie Yen. These are definitely some people we look to constantly. As far as practical.
DreamWeavers StarTrax.
We
The
are
most
back.
amazing thing about this is they all have their teeth, so no one missed. I like that.
No,
Oh, there's been some misses.
misses.
Close calls.
Actually,
Of course.
Okay, let's share that with the audience.
Okay.
Describe the things that behind the scenes. One of those misses. That's like the Jackie Chan thing where he accidentally slipped or something and fell in coals once, and they showed that one. Oh, dude.
oh yeah, it was Drunken Master. Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
So give us one of those moments.
For me, like this one is the one that rings true all the time. Is we're filming Nightwing, and it's me and Easy fighting Lance, his Deathstroke,
Yeah.
and one of the takes, I'm supposed to get kicked in the face, and I'm supposed to block it. Forgot my choreography.
Oh,
Lance
no.
kicked me in the face. And I felt great.
Kept it on film.
We
didn't
just
they,
gotta
though?
keep. We just gotta keep going.
It was so
I
I knew it
real.
was okay. I knew it was cool.
I felt grit in my mouth. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think I chipped a tooth, and I just laid down, and like there's blood pooling in front of my
Or
face.
the dirt from Lance's boot.
Oh, the dirt.
Could've been that too.
You know,
No, Easy punched me in the eyeball immediately after, though. Anyway.
yeah.
With my one eye.
Proper kung fu always has instantaneous karma reflection.
I don't know how he fit his fist in my mask, but somehow it did. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of weird moments. Yeah, and he talked about even Crisco that last time too, because on the last show. But yeah, when my belt was too tight, I had to kick him in the stomach, but it was so tight that I couldn't get it up high enough, and I ended up kicking him in the groin.
That sounds like a big problem.
It was. Yeah.
And the people are thinking, "Oh my God, look at that actor! He really looks so real.
He's
He
so
looks like
real."
he felt that.
Yeah.
He did.
After what, like
But-
take 4, he's like, I'm over this. I don't want to do this anymore.
I made him quit. He's done. No, I'm just kidding. He was cool. He was
yes.
cool. It was after the first time he told me, he's like, "Hey man, can you kick a little higher?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." It's like,
So for those who are out there and young,
but,
lots of choreography. First, a lot of training before choreography.
yeah.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And make sure they're your buddies and you're not dating their ex.
Yeah, costumes can hinder movement, so you gotta practice,
Yeah.
sometimes.
And a little something for caution, so people are out there. These scenes with the shooting and stuff, you guys, that's mostly added in afterwards, correct?
Absolutely, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
safety is penultimate for everybody who works on these things, and
Yeah.
so those are all just CGI. Like if we're all using a gun, we're just
Good.
reacting to the backfire.
And
You know,
I
there's nothing
mean,
really going
because there
on.
was a time when that wasn't so, and we lost some
Yes.
wonderful actors in the past
Absolutely.
because of those moments.
Yeah. Just
And,
not checking.
So yeah,
equipment
don't think that
properly.
if you see it, you should go get a gun and put blanks in it. That is not how it works. Go get an animator.
There you go.
No, yeah.
And all the blood and all this stuff is all
Yeah.
is
I think Danny was the only one that actually had a blood capsule.
Yeah, he had a black
Yeah,
capsule.
And that was the
time.
only actual
Because they
one.
needed
Yeah.
a close up on him, so.
Such fun stuff.
bit
It
it
is
and
fun
went,
stuff.
So
Just
yeah,
gargling.
and so they train. You guys are at the studios. You train. You come out. You test everything. You make sure it. Do you run footage to see how it looks before you do your final?
course,
Okay.
yes.
absolutely
Yeah,
we
previs, yeah.
previs all that stuff.
Yeah.
This last shoot that we were on, the director was and the cinematographer Ryan. So
Yeah.
the director Dustin Lovett and the cinematographer Ryan, I'm sorry, I forget his last name.
Yeah.
They were very cool about letting us,
Yeah.
because we talked about all of it beforehand. So on the day of the shoot, we were just banging out shots, which is awesome, and they were very, very cool about letting us.
That's
Yeah,
great.
they're very open to
That's
that,
cool,
and that's
yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, really important.
Because
especially
we
for
don't
us.
know how to act, but we know what looks good on screen.
Well, I
and they
mean,
know how to
it's,
make
it's
that
still an
happen.
action shot,
So-
but
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
thing is, there's a lot of accidents
Yeah, absolutely.
known throughout history in action movies.
Oh no, doubt. I mean that's a big
Cars
part.
flipping
Safety.
over in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Also, when we're choreographing things, we always just try to make sure the actor is comfortable. It's like, what would you do in this situation, and how would you react to this? So it's easy for them and natural. It's not just forced. It's never.
And that's true. And the
Nice.
beauty is to make the most deadliest thing look frighteningly effortless.
Yep.
So
Which
with
is some of
that
the stuff
said,
we kind of grew up in. And
Yeah.
but I mean, like when you're hanging upside down, it's supposed to look scary as heck when the rope's on fire and you're getting out of a straitjacket. You have to know every micron of everything that you're about to do, and you kind of have to see yourself from the outside in our world, because you have a sense of what the audience is seeing in you. But one forgetful moment gets really freaky in
Yeah,
that
the
situation.
moment of hesitation is where I find out where I always get hurt.
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
I hesitate.
Every
Yeah.
time, yeah. Let's be honest.
It's unexpected. Yeah.
Unmindfulness
Becomes
is
unexpected.
expensive.
so we're gonna take a quick little break so you guys can take a look at this.
Watch this. Here we go.
DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Ergo,
No, that was Junior.
the shots take place with the guy on the computer, never on the set anymore, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
And it looks so good. The action of the movement. Because I've been, unfortunately, when I was young, I grew up around every type of weapon imaginable, short and long distance. And the action movements are really well done. Did you guys go out and shoot some stuff to get a
Yeah,
sense of what
we-
happened?
he's very
Because you
into
have a
that.
very natural reactiveness
Yes, I
in there.
am
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
into
Involved,
just
yeah.
weaponry.
Yeah.
I believe to be a warrior, you have to be knowledgeable in all aspects of war.
Okay.
Yes,
Very nice.
especially
Yeah.
what
I
they're
don't just study
doing.
with my hands. I study with knives, swords, and firearms. So
Yeah,
kinda do
yeah,
it all.
ballistics is a
Yeah.
big one now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
also skydive too, just in case something happens like that.
that's the one I missed. I wanted to do that, and I
Yeah.
hope that I'll get to do that one.
It's exhilarating.
And I've done a lot of crazy things. I mean,
It'll put hair
Which
in your
we'll
chest, and I
do-
don't even have one.
now, we'll do some which reminds me, Cryn told me to remind that people who would ask, yes, in December I will do the one that shows if I can get the footage of the human target with a bullet catch in a steel plate.
Yes.
A lot of training. So we'll bring that up in some of the crazy stuff we've done in the past. So with that in mind, yeah, a lot of weapons training, a lot of caution.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't, ooh, let's try something out. That is,
Right.
that's something they used to do on MTV, whatever that show was, where people tried experiments without thinking, like leaping off of roofs on fence posts.
That's why they hired us. I mean, essentially to do this
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
You know.
Because we have a pretty deep knowledge set, because Kung Fu is hard work, and it's hard work through,
Yes.
countless hours of preparation, So Kung Fu is just a different level of however you study and apply it, So I can do
Nice.
Kung Fu in a knife fight, I can do Kung Fu in a sword fight, I can do Kung Fu in a gunfight,
Well, yeah, but the Fall Guy. There's the one where you hit the guy and he does this beautiful
Oh, back.
Oh, that's
back
Johnny.
layout.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
wobbling. Nice.
And he used to be a gymnast, so that
Yeah.
backflip is
Ah,
Yeah,
see?
that's
it's
natural.
countless
Yeah.
preparation.
Dancing, gymnast, and by the way, if you want to be an actor, I do suggest martial arts. Kung Fu is so much more flowy. Karate is okay, I've done both, but Kung Fu is really cool. It just looks so much better on camera.
Preferably long fist.
Yeah.
Martial.
Yeah, long fist,
'Cause
long
there's different
movements.
types of kung fu.
Lots
Kung
of
fu is a
stretching.
general statement
Mantis,
to
man.
Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, anything in close range, like Wing Chun, if you want to fight in a bathroom stall, very close.
Yeah. Get that phone booth fight going.
Which most people don't get, Yes, there are moments where you're actually here.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be crowded bar or club. Yeah.
And so, one
So
of the
what
things. No, go ahead, please.
What forms of Kung Fu do you guys typically?
I mean, our main practices are Tai Chi, Praying Mantis, and Seven Star, and then Northern Shaolin Long Fist. those are our main practices. Yeah, that we do.
Explain to the audience who probably don't understand long fist, short fist.
Yeah.
What explain?
Well, there's not really a short fist necessarily described, but long fist is in essence described as very long movements to create smaller movements in action. So a lot of the big stuff you would say even in theater, that's why it works so well in movies, like Jet Li's a good example of that, even Jackie Chan, because a lot of their backgrounds came from those roots. But yeah, it's a good way to strengthen the body in postures. It's almost like yoga in movement in a weird way, in a sense. It's meditation in
It's
motion.
creating
so-
a bigger line essentially.
Yeah.
And
A lot of jumping,
Yeah.
jump kicks, all the stuff people want to see, like the action.
And there's one of the things you just said right there that most people
Strengthens
don't
the body,
get.
mind, the whole
You have
shebang.
to spend a lot of time in the air to really get a sense, especially if you're supposed to look like you're knocking someone out and not. You have to have a sense of yourself off the ground.
Yeah.
And you've really got to know, where am I really at, just as though you were solid. And that's fun to watch when people do that.
And it's fun to do.
And it's also healthy. To be honest with you,
Oh,
if you
absolutely.
find the proper school like you guys do, and like you said,
Yeah, we were lucky.
your body develops health, strength,
yeah.
flexibility.
Right.
Yeah,
And
there's a
the school
totality. to
Lohan
it.
is amazing because they also kind of teach a little more of the background. One of the reasons I suggest that school to parents who have kids, or if your kid's just a little too rambunctious and needs something to do in life, I suggest Lohan because they have a beautiful mindset there. And it really is a village. Where you see him when he's doing the Kung Fu in the school, Lohan looks like you're out of the country, which is kind of nice about
Yeah, and it really
takes us
builds
away.
a powerful, positive mindset.
it. It does, very much
Because
so.
that mindset is what will get you out of literally almost any situation possible.
Yeah, the favorite
Mindset
one
was-
is
it's crazy.
when I
It's
was
a
young,
great
people
escape,
go,
yeah, great escape.
how do you avoid fights with a biker? I know where their bars are at. I don't go. They don't even know they lost. Invisibly, they're all going. They're gonna have a fight with something else.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
right.
totally.
Okay, so we're gonna be back in just a few more moments.
DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax. DreamWeavers StarTrax.
Hey, Star Trekkers, your
pretty good.
turn and your questions. And as
like
I know,
that.
Trinidad
Oh, boy.
is here, and
Yes.
she has your questions, and she's going to start.
All right. So we have a question from China who lives
Wow.
in Phoenix.
Oh.
her name is found.
Her name is China.
I was like, wow. I was like, oh.
One has to translate. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the question is, what led you guys to make the decision to get into this line of work?
Well, it's a great way to kind of show,
Make sure you get it.
show like your art form without really going out and hurting somebody. I mean, to me, that's like the last thing I like to even think about with the martial arts. I look at that as a secondary aspect, definitely to protect myself, but it's also a great way to put in an art form too, because it has such an impact on people's lives, so just keep it short.
Yeah.
Well,
Brother Easy, yeah.
well, I don't know, but for me, Kung Fu and martial arts is my first love.
Yeah.
And it can be.
That's what it is. It's like I'm
Yeah.
always gonna have this like. I'm always gonna hold it close to me. So to be able to do it on screen and it's like.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
All of the
Yeah, all of the above.
Ditto.
I mean,
And for those
They'll
who
live
think
forever,
that
and
martial
it's
arts
really
are
nice.
strictly for I get to go out and kick butt, let me be clear. Who do you think's faster? The guy who knows he's swinging on you, or the guy who has no knowledge and has the ability to stop him? Defense requires far more speed and training,
Absolutely.
especially when they have knives in their hand. But long story later.
long story. Yeah, it's not.
All right. So what do we have
So,
next?
Cecil from Savannah, Georgia says, do you guys have anything coming up?
Yes.
Yes, we just did a fan film for Star Wars called The Force Corrupted.
Yep.
I am also playing the bad guy in that as well.
Yeah.
There's a typecast.
And
There you
I'm
go.
covered, so once again, you don't get to see me. But yeah, Aaron and did all the main, choreography and stuff, and the previs and everything for it, and it should be coming out hopefully before the release of Rogue One.
Yeah.
If that's okay to
Nice.
say.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting
Trying to
for
do
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kinda, and they bounced Avatar
It's
here
super
back.
cool.
That's-
That one is very. It's a Star Wars fan film, so it's very heavy on swordplay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
something
And
that
what
we,
we're
people
good
don't know
at.
we can do too, but
Yeah.
we can do that.
And we
So,
love Star
yeah.
Wars, So
Oh, yeah, come on.
we're big fans. So
That's
Yeah.
fun.
it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
what we do too. It kind of relates very well to what we do in the Jedi realm too. So, so
That's true. There's a lot of
fun.
mind training in this stuff.
Yeah, so it's
All
great.
right. So Xander from Colorado wants to know, what is your favorite movie? Each of you.
Dun, dun.
I think we asked you this question last time too, right? Or something like that.
Something like.
Favorite
It's
movie?
like kung fu
favorite
movie, right?
Yes.
A martial arts movie.
Yeah, I think that's what it was last time.
Oh. It changes for everybody. I think right now I'm on.
Yeah, it definitely does
I'm on
change.
Drunken Master right now. I think that's my new favorite.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't-
Jackie Chan's.
Yeah,
Jackie Chan,
that was
of
Jackie
course.
Chan. Yeah.
I like
I've,
that one.
I've always had a great love for the movie Hero.
Yeah,
That's my
Jet Li
son's
and
absolute
that.
favorite.
That's a good
Yes.
movie.
I've
That
always-
spear fight was sick.
Yeah.
It's it's very deep in the telling of storytelling and,
And they're running
truth
the-
and
the
lies.
multi-
And
And
it's
so,
lines.
like,
just-
even
it's a
the
beautiful
colors being
movie.
used.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Because
The
like each
colors
color
are
was a
amazing.
different story.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like-
let's be honest, the cinematography is pretty exceptional.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
Drunken
he's
Master.
got Drunken Monkey. One of the things I
As a
like
Drunken
is
Master.
something he brings
Drunken
to his
Master.
character is this incredible, natural, everyday humanity to his character. I
Yeah.
mean, and yet
true.
the discipline in him is insane. Plus the crazy stuff that he tries on his own.
Yeah.
Like, what was the one he was sliding down a glass building and it just
Who am I?
almost went wrong?
Yeah, luckily they strapped him down. Or he had a strap to him. And he just slides down this building, and then like he gets to the bottom, and he like has to stand down at the edge of it, and they have to pull him down, right?
Who am
Yeah,
I?
I mean,
Has,
'cause-
who am I has some gnarly
Who am I
stunts,
has-
like the
Yeah.
like the fight scene on the rooftop where Jackie Chan's running on the side of the side of like a 1 foot like block wall, and there's like what a
Nothing
100-story
there.
drop down below. It's all
That's a
like
good one.
Yeah, that's
Woo,
dedication to one's art form.
yeah.
Yeah.
That made me nervous. I was like, yo, man, you could. Ooh.
That kid definitely earned all of his money.
But that's the
Yeah,
thing
he
I
definitely
heard that in
has.
China,
Yes.
basically, you don't get to have a stunt man step in your way if you're really doing kung fu. You got to be real kung fu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah.
is obviously the man proves it.
All the time.
So fun stuff. So,
Yeah.
all the time.
what if you had to design? Actually, forgive me. It's your turn.
And so if you want to,
We'll
that's
talk
fine.
about this after.
Well, along that same line, Kathleen from OKC wants to know, how do you come up with different types of choreography for the different shoots?
Well, that's everything. All of our choreography is based off of our style of kung fu. So
Right.
depending on what they want to use, so in this case they wanted like, oh, we want lightsabers. Okay, well we all know how to use a sword. You know, we just kind of we watch movies and we check out the forums and we see what we like to,
Okay.
and then kind of combine everything together.
Yeah, and then we do look at the characters like as me playing a character, I got to be a bad guy, so I have to kind of have that edge with it. I
Yeah,
guess
and
you
he's
could
got to
say.
have his own
So-
style about not his style of sword fighting, but there's a style of his sword fighting, and then his personality has to
Yeah, I
be
have
part
to-
of that style.
Right.
Hopefully
And
let
would make
that
sense.
out,
That
know,
makes
for
sense.
sure.
So how do you keep it different? This is my question. How do you keep it different from one, film to the next?
I mean, we definitely looking at the character for sure. Like say Deathstroke example, he's a military, mastermind in a sense, and so he's a strategic. He's super strength and all that. So we had to kind of make him almost like a tank and just kind of plow through. Guys, in a sense.
One shot, one kill.
Yeah, one shot, one kill, literally. And so we had to make things like, heavy hitting, in that essence. So, and we kind of looked at it, like a direct one boom down. So, kind of like that, Muay Thai, kind of kickboxer, I don't know.
Right.
The meat and potatoes kind of a fighting.
Yeah.
But like the choreography changes from character to character and from the person playing the character also.
Yeah.
So it's dependent on what they can and can't do and how they're going to
That's
use it
it,
against
yeah.
the other choreography. That's how we try to keep it,
Yeah.
fresh.
No, it has to be
Right.
natural for everybody. This is why we always
Everybody.
ask
Yeah.
the actors, like,
Yeah.
well, what would you do if you were in the situation?
Because
Yeah,
possibly-
reality
the
check.
fall guys are just as important, and they don't get enough love, man. The guys taking
Oh,
the
they do
falls,
not, by the
they don't
way.
get any love sometimes, and it's kind of a shame. But they're the ones that really to be like clapping for. 'Cause
It's like the
you
girl
see
who
that
did
guy
American
take it?
Ninja,
Yeah.
and is actually the one that plays the stunt woman for Supergirl.
Oh, Jesse McGrath.
Except
yeah.
she's about 10 times stronger. I mean,
I think Supergirl will have some trouble with that girl.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't want to get me
Legit.
started on that one. I have a tough time with the casting on that one. I would prefer that
I don't watch the
McGrath
show,
gets
so.
up there, but they're not going to let that happen. But
You'll have other stuff.
if you
Yeah.
had the three of you sitting around went, what would be fun to do, and you made your own Kung Fu movie, what would be it?
Well, we've been talking about it for a
We
year now or
were,
something like
yeah.
that. There's a famous legend that our sword form is based off of, and
Okay.
it's from a monk who was a reformed warrior. He didn't want to fight anymore, and and his name is Snowflake. And essentially, we want to tell
Shiva.
the story of Snowflake and how he fought off a boatload of samurais and mercenaries as they wanted to
Pirates,
attack a Shaolin temple.
That's
Ooh, now
awesome.
see, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That's what
So
we're on.
you've got what you want to do. What's next? Or what do you got to do next?
I think more
We gotta-
experience.
because we want to be sure that we're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Because we're perfectionists and we don't know cinematography, we don't know how to shoot, we don't know how to light, we don't know how to make costumes. All we know how to do is
Do you
make a
know
fight
the
scene.
story?
We do know the story.
Do you know what a lighting man serves? The story.
Okay.
Do you know what the sound serves? The
The
story.
story.
I have a simple thing
Yeah.
to tell you so that we get a
Sounds
chance to see
everything.
this and it doesn't take forever.
The story.
Get the story down.
Yes.
That's-
Yes.
Get it down.
Yeah.
And
Well, we
only
have the
write
story
what moves
down.
your hearts. Otherwise, it's too intellectual. Just be moved by, wouldn't that be fun? Because this story obviously moves you, and I've never known
Yeah.
this. That would be fabulous. So hopefully we get to see something
Absolutely.
really
You guys will have to come back
gotta
once
help,
you're
though.
done with that one. That's going to
I
be
got
amazing.
no problems.
Yeah,
I've
why
been
not?
writing
Yeah, why
screenplays
not?
for about 20 years. I'll be happy to help anything you guys want. As long as
Awesome.
get done.
All right. Well, cool.
All
All right. So thank you
Well,
all for your
yeah,
questions.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank
And
you for-
Lohan School,
Yes,
thank you so
thank you
kindly.
so much
for
Seafood,
being here.
appreciate the kindness. And next week we're going to have quite the character on. His name is J.D. Smith. He's an actor, hilarious character, and a very smart man. So stay tuned. We'll catch you on next week. Hey, keep those stories running.
Yeah.
DreamWeavers StarTrax.